Let's take a moment to look at an iconic movement in history, the Civil Rights Movement. Tallahassee, Florida, in the mid-1900s, where African Americans did not have proper access to medical assistance. Nonetheless, the university that sits on the highest of 7 hills, Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, creates a solution to this issue by establishing the FAMU Hospital right on campus.
The existence of the hospital started from President Thomas Tucker's determination to create a nurse training facility on campus grounds. Tucker's request to fund the facility was originally denied by the Board of Education. In the early 1900s, President Nathan B. Young continued his plans to bring a nurse training facility to FAMU. In 1909, he was successful in getting funding to build a medical facility to house the nurse training school.
Before its official opening as a hospital, at the time, Florida A&M College started only with a sanitarium, an establishment for the medical treatment of people who are recovering from or have a chronic illness. Opened in 1911, it was merely a wooden structure and contained less than 20 beds. However, potential was seen in the structure, and by 1926, under the presidency of John Robert Edward Lee, FAMC unofficially opened the School of Nursing and increased the sanitarium's bedding capacity 5 times than what it started with. The success did not stop there. President William Gray and the first director of FAMU Hospital, Dr. Leonard H.B. Foote, who served for almost 60 years as a college physician, started a decade-long fundraising campaign to construct a new hospital. In 1946, in the midst of that campaign, the sanitarium became the FAMC Hospital, Health Center, and Nursing School. Dr. Charles Drew, the phenomenal African-American surgeon and first African-American to be appointed examiner for the American Board of Surgery, provided free services for those in the area, local and regional. Now under the presidency of FAMU's second longest serving president, George William Gore Jr., Florida A&M College excelled beyond measures. Not only did FAMC receive its grant to be accredited with university status, but its hospital was officially dedicated on February 7, 1951, with $2 million garnered from the university to build the facility. It was fully operational and the only hospital available to Black people within a 150-mile radius. After integration, FAMU struggled to keep the doors of the hospital open. Its closure was near in the mid-1960s, as a result of the document Form 441 stating that hospitals would admit patients in disregard of race, color, or set of beliefs. Because Tallahassee Memorial Hospital signed this agreement and FAMU Hospital had not, it was seen as an unfair competition due to this hospital servicing the majority of Black people. It wasn't until 1966 FAMU would complete Form 441. Shortly afterwards, funding became an issue. On June 20, 1966, at a closed-door meeting of an executive committee on the Board of Regents, the Board of Education, and City, County, and Hospital Board representatives, the fate of FAMU Hospital was discussed. Nonetheless, Dr. Gore was not invited to the meeting. FAMU Hospital had lost its funding, and its funding was transferred over to Tallahassee Memorial Hospital. By the end of his term, President Gore was feeling the stress and pressure of the hospital's concerns. It was believed that the hospital was consuming a too large portion of the university's budget. Professor J.F. Blake, an English professor at FAMU during the time, quotes President Gore in her biographical work, A Lion Within, stating students' money was being taken and used to provide health care for those who had not helped the university, and majority of the hospital's financial support was coming from student funds. Words of the hospital's condition became a major talk, stating there was poor equipment, lack of maintenance, and decreasing of professional staff. After the fund transfer, motivation to maintain the conditions of the hospital worsened. Petition and unorganized oppositions were made, but the efforts were little to nothing in comparison to the negative feelings about the hospital. Patients began going to Tallahassee Memorial Hospital. Salaries were at an all-time low, and debts could not be made. On January 1, 1972, the remaining 4 patients were transferred to TMH, and the last 57 employees were scheduled to report to TMH, hence the ending the battle to fight with the FAMU Hospital. After President Gore's retirement, President Benjamin L. Perry was still feeling the stress of FAMU Hospital and its closure during his term. In an article published in the FAMU release of April 1972, What Really Happened to the A&M Hospital, Perry discusses the general feeling that the hospital was taking a toll on the health needs of Leon County and Tallahassee. President Perry was now left with the decision as to what to turn the empty building into that would once benefit the campus again. After constructing a committee, the decision came in 1972 to turn the building, now known as Footehilyer, into an administrative center. On April 1, 1981, the site was dedicated in honor of Dr. Leonard H.B. Foote and J. Virginia Hillier, superintendent of the sanitarium and nursing instructor. Footehilyer is now home to student health services, financial aid, student accounts, and last but not least, the infamous Fried Chicken Wednesday. Although Footehilyer is no longer in existence, it has significant impact on its alums such as Virginia Lawrence and Sonia Knight. Virginia Lawrence worked in the hospital's Department of Records as a student during the 1960s, and before it closed, she had the opportunity to birth her first child approximately 10 years later. Sonia Knight is not only a FAMU alumna and a TRIO Student Support Services advisor at the university, but she is also one who was born at the hospital before its closing. Lucky enough, we were able to sit down with Miss Knight and interview her about her connection to the hospital. All right, could you state your full name, please?
Sonia Knight.
And what is your role at FAMU?
I am a counselor advisor with the TRIO Student Support Services program.
Okay, and could you tell me a little bit about your connection to FAMU Hospital?
I was born at FAMU's hospital on July 19, 1968.
Okay, since FAMU Hospital is no longer in existence, and knowing you're a part of history, does it add any extra significance to FAMU within your life?
Yes, because I feel like I was a rattler from birth. I attended Florida A&M for my undergraduate as well as my master's degree, but I like to think that my journey started when I was born.
Okay. How do you feel the dynamics of the hospital would change the university if it was still in existence?
I think it would have changed the university greatly because we have strong pharmacy, nursing, and allied health programs. And if the hospital was still in existence, it would give the students in those areas opportunity to be able to work on a hospital right here at the university.
That is true. Okay. Would you have wished to continue the legacy with your own children?
Yes, it would have been great to have been able to, for my children, to have been born at FAMU Hospital to carry on that legacy. But I am just proud to be someone that did, was born at the hospital. So it's great to be able to walk on campus and see where you were actually born. But again, it makes me feel my ties to FAMU even stronger because I like to feel like I was a rattler from birth.
After speaking with Ms. Sonia Knight, receiving a personable perspective pertaining to the FAMU Hospital was very insightful. However, here are more facts about the FAMU Hospital. At its peak in 1962, FAMU Hospital had 50 practicing physicians, 74 full-time nurses, and a yearly admission of 6,155 patients with the inclusions of 1,936 newborns. Before being turned into the Footehilyer Administrative Center in 1974, the site was considered to be of use for a nursing center and clinic or another dorm hall on campus. FAMU Hospital offered health needs for more than 90,000 Black people in the community and offered workshops, seminars, and professional conferences for those continuing education of doctors, nurses, pharmacists, and other healthcare personnel. Before its closing on December 24, 1971, the FAMU Hospital had been in existence for 21 years. Although the FAMU Hospital is no longer in existence, its contribution to those of Tallahassee, Florida will forever be in remembrance.